Welcome to Fluently Now. In today's video, we're exploring common English idioms, phrases you'll hear often in conversations. But there's a twist. You'll hear these idioms spoken by people with different accents. This will help you improve your listening skills and understand English in different ways. Let's get started and make learning English fun and easy.
Go home and sleep on it and come back and say, you should probably go home and sleep on it and come back and say, you should probably go home and sleep on it and come back and say, you know, yesterday when we were talking, you said these things and etc. That's unacceptable.
You're calm enough is to sleep on it and wait another 24 hours. You're calm enough is to sleep on it and wait another 24 hours. You're calm enough is to sleep on it and wait another 24 hours.
Hey, do you know what? Why don't you sleep on it? Let me know your decision tomorrow. Hey, do you know what? Why don't you sleep on it? Let me know your decision tomorrow. Hey, do you know what? Why don't you sleep on it? Let me know your decision tomorrow.
And so, he said, look, go to bed, sleep on it, and whatever. And so, he said, look, go to bed, sleep on it, and whatever. And so, he said, look, go to bed, sleep on it, and whatever you think of first thing in the morning, like, that's what you should do. And he's like, and so, he said, look, go to bed, sleep on it.
You sleep on it, okay? You sleep on it, okay? You sleep on it, okay?
If I wait till tomorrow morning, the old anecdote or the old advice to sleep on it, actually, if I wait till tomorrow morning, the old anecdote or the old advice to sleep on it, if I wait till tomorrow morning, the old anecdote or the old advice to sleep on it.
Here, or go have a cup of coffee with a friend or sleep on it. Here, or go have a cup of coffee with a friend or sleep on it. Here, or go have a cup of coffee with a friend or sleep on it.
Sleep on it before you make a big decision, it's true. Sleep on it before you make a big decision, it's true. Sleep on it before you make a big decision, it's true. All right?
Thing really nasty, sleep on it. It's usually not your thing really nasty, sleep on it. Thing really nasty, sleep on it.
Would just look at it and I said, maybe just sleep on it and then come back. Would just look at it and I said, maybe just sleep on it. Would just look at it and I said, maybe just sleep on it and then come back to it. My
problem is to sleep on it. And the problem is to sleep on it. And those are just problem is to sleep on it. All of which just goes to affirm the wisdom of the phrase sleep on it. All of which just goes to affirm the wisdom of the phrase sleep on it. All of which just goes to affirm the wisdom of the phrase sleep on it.
Practice it and then sleep on it, where those memories are consolidated and your brain reperforms those. Practice it and then sleep on it, where those memories are consolidated and your brain practice it and then sleep on it, where those memories are consolidated and your brain reperforms those actions while you're asleep.
Stick with it. Go back. Try again. Sleep on it. Think about it. Stick with it. Go back. Try again. Sleep on it. Think about it. Stick with it. Go back. Try again. Sleep on it. Think about it. Ask for advice.
She is sick and tired of men telling her what to think. She is sick and tired of men telling her what to think. She is sick and tired of men telling her what to think.
And I'm sick and tired of seeing these videos pop. And I'm sick and tired of seeing these videos pop in. And I'm sick and tired of seeing these videos pop in my suggested videos box.
I'm just so sick and tired of hearing that. And I fell for that as a kid. So everything that I'm just so sick and tired of hearing that. And I'm just so sick and tired of hearing that. And I fell for that as a kid. So everything that I've fallen for, every pain.
And you're really so sick and tired, you're ready to do something about it. And you're really so sick and tired, you're ready to do something about it. And you're really so sick and tired, you're ready to do something about it. And the second reason is that you.
But then a friend of mine got absolutely sick and tired of me. But then a friend of mine got absolutely sick and tired of me. But then a friend of mine got absolutely sick and tired of me. But then a friend of mine got absolutely sick and tired of me.
About the state of our partisan politics in America. And I'm sick and tired of knee-jerk affiliations to about the state of our partisan politics in America. And I'm sick and tired of knee-jerk affiliating about the state of our partisan politics in America. And I'm sick and tired of knee-jerk affiliations.
Is a greater tragedy than your loss. I'm sick and tired of seeing these victims. Is a greater tragedy than your loss. I'm sick and tired of seeing these victims trotted out. Is a greater tragedy than your loss. I'm sick and tired of seeing these victims.
Thirsty, so I was sick and tired of not having cash. So I decided I'm going to go out and find a cash machine. Thirsty, so I was sick and tired of not having cash. So I decided I'm going to go out and find a cash machine. Thirsty, so I was sick and tired of not having cash. So I decided I'm going to go out and find a cash machine.
Greater tragedy than your loss.
And I got really sick and tired of eating stir-fried penguin. And I got really sick and tired of eating stir-fried penguin. And I got really sick and tired of eating stir-fried penguin.
That people are sick and tired of it and things aren't getting done. Sorry, that people are sick and tired of it and things aren't getting done. So I don't think that people are sick and tired of it and things aren't getting done.
Stand and the American people are sick and tired of it. 80% of the American people stand and the American people are sick and tired of it. 80% stand and the American people are sick and tired of it. 80% of the American people want us out.
In the hospital, I felt sick and tired all the time. And after 3 in the hospital, I felt sick and tired all the time. In the hospital, I felt sick and tired all the time.
To care. Go the extra mile to care. Go the extra mile to care.
Organization will go the extra mile. When organization will go the extra mile. Organization will go the extra mile. When people will work on weekends, do things at night, they'll stay late at work.
Hard. Call people would go the extra mile in every case. Hard. Call people would go the extra mile in every case. Hard. Call people would go the extra mile in every case. Go the extra mile in every case.
Additional rewards and incentives so that they'd go the extra mile. Additional rewards and incentives so that they'd go the extra mile. Additional rewards and incentives so that they'd go the extra mile.
To go the extra, what do they take from this study? To go the extra, what do they take from this study?
Well, I think that first,
one who's willing to work hard and go the extra mile, so that one who's willing to work hard and go the extra mile, so that one who's willing to work hard and go the extra mile, so that the devices that I'm trying to design will make
spotter, and why you might want to go the extra mile and go from lie spotter, and why you might want to go the extra mile and go from lie spotting spotter, and why you might want to go the extra mile and go.
And I always tell people, like, go the extra mile. I know it's a pain, but if you can get, and I always tell people, like, go the extra mile. I know it's a pain. And I always tell people, like, go the extra mile. I know it's a pain.
She would go the extra mile to make sure that our performances, she would go the extra mile to make sure that our performance, she would go the extra mile to make sure that our performances were.
That's right, but to go the extra mile and bring about greater good. That's right, but to go the extra mile and bring about greater good. That's right, but to go the extra mile and bring about greater good.
Dedicated, have higher perseverance, and to go the extra mile to help the company succeed. Dedicated, have higher perseverance, and to go the extra mile to help the company succeed. Dedicated, have higher perseverance, and to go the extra mile to help the company succeed.
Jump out of teaching because they do go the extra mile. Jump out of teaching because they do go the extra mile. Jump out of teaching because they do go the extra mile. I find a lot of people.
Every once in a while at work, I need to go the extra mile. Every once in a while at work, I need to go the extra mile. Every once in a while at work, I need to go the extra mile.
The comic possibilities of a fish out of water. Also get the comic possibilities of a fish out of water. Also get the comic possibilities of a fish out of water. Doing something that he or she's not very good at, and the learning that comes from that.
Now flap like fish out of water beside her. Now flap like fish out of water beside her. Now flap like fish out of water beside her.
Some of the stories were kind of fish out of water to some degree, but some of the stories were kind of fish out of water to some degree, but some of the stories were kind of fish out of water to some degree, but also
it felt like a fish out of water in rural areas. It felt like a fish out of water in. It felt like a fish out of water in rural areas or on farms.
Don't trust them, or I'm like a fish out of water here, or don't trust them, or I'm like a fish out of water here, or don't trust them, or I'm like a fish out of water here, or in other words, we go into our cocoon.
Fish out of water, very uncomfortable in that kind of fish out of water, very uncomfortable in that kind of fish out of water, very uncomfortable in that kind of social setting.
And so I was a fish out of water, and so I was a fish out of water, and so I was a fish out of water.
So you can imagine my staff now, they're not fish out of water. They're not. So you can imagine my staff now, they're not fish out of water. They're not a fish out of water.
For the fish, but also becoming the fish, and plays a fish out of water kind of. For the fish, but also becoming the fish, and plays a fish out of water kind of. For the fish, but also becoming the fish, and plays a fish out of water kind of.
Initially, I'm going to feel like a fish out of water, although I guess initially, I'm going to feel like a fish out of water, although initially, I'm going to feel like a fish out of water, although I guess it's kind of ironic, right? Because
a lot of them are going to feel like fish out of water. A lot of them are going to feel like fish out of water. A lot of them are going to feel like fish out of water without a clue as to what to expect.
A fish out of water who's gulping or gasping for a breath. A fish out of water who's gulping or gasping for a breath. A fish out of water who's gulping or gasping for a breath.
And it's sort of a classic fish out of water story, right? And it's sort of a classic fish out of water story, right? Like, here he is, head and shoulders taller than everybody around him, doesn't.
But like you can probably guess by this point, that's easier said than done. Transportation. But like you can probably guess by this point, that's easier said than done. Right? Transportation. But like you can probably guess by this point, that's easier said than done.
Communicate more, but it's easier said than done. Communicate more, but it's easier said than done. Communicate more, but it's easier said than done.
in the moment. Of course, this is easier said than done. It's always in the moment. Of course, this is easier said than done. It's all in the moment. Of course, this is easier said than done. It's
nothing. Okay, so this one, way easier said than done. Nothing. Okay, so this one, way easier said than done. Nothing. Okay, so this one, way easier said than done. But as much as you can practice it, you will see it works. Bad stuff. Now I know this is easier said than done, but it's a bad stuff. Now I know this is easier said than done, but it's a bad stuff. Now I know this is easier said than done.
Which is easier said than done, and which is easier said than done, and which is easier said than done, and public education.
Now, doing this is easier said than done. It's very. Now, doing this is easier said than done. It's very. Now, doing this is easier said than done. It's very. Now, doing this is easier said than done. It's very hard to know, by the way, what it is you take for granted.
This is easier said than done. This is easier said than done. Particularly when you. This is easier said than done. Particularly when you consider the enormous area and the different types of grazing systems that we cover in this state.
Not apparent yet. I mean, I know this is all easier said than done. Not apparent yet. I mean, I know this is all easier said than done. But when I talk apparent yet, I mean, I know this is all easier said than done.
That is obviously easier said than done. Right. That is obviously easier said than done. Right. That is obviously easier said than done. Right. As we all know.
Solicit opinion about what you plan to do in the world. And the best thing you can do is laugh about it. Easier said than done, I know. Solicit opinion about what you plan to do in the world. And the best thing you can do is laugh about it. Easier said than done, I know. Solicit opinion about what you plan to do in the world. And the best thing you can do is laugh about it. Easier said than done, I know.
So, this next one is easier said than done, but also very important. So, this next one is easier said than done, but also very. So, this next one is easier said than done, but also very important.
But that's easier said than done, right? But that's easier said than done, right? But that's easier said than done, right? I mean, we are all willing to exude our.
This is easier said than done, but this is the job of the food movement. This is easier said than done, but this is the job of the food movement. This is easier said than done, but this is the job of the food movement.
Step. Now, the action step is easier said than done. The first thing is step. Now, the action step is easier said than done. The first step. Now, the action step is easier said than done. The first thing is, don't be evil. Do.
Hit me as you find me. Easier said than done. Yes, I know. Hit me as you find me. Easier said than done. Yes, I know. Hit me as you find me. Easier said than done. Yes, I know.
To school, easier said than done, of course, in rural India. To school, easier said than done, of course, in rural India. To school, easier said than done, of course, in rural India.
Exactly you're going to work on. And that's easier said than done. Exactly you're going to work on. And that's easier said than done. Exactly you're going to work on. And that's easier said than done. It's very rare that you don't have your scope is not big enough. It's usually.
Where do we draw the line of moral and legal responsibility? Where do we draw the line of moral and legal responsibility? Where do we draw the line of moral and legal responsibility?
So where do you draw the line, Professor? So where do you draw the line, Professor? So where do you draw the line, Professor?
Friends. What types of gene modifications would you want to see? Where would you draw the line? Friends. What types of gene modifications would you want to see? Where would you draw the line? Friends. What types of gene modifications would you want to see? Where would you draw the line?
I mean, I might draw the line at like flies or something, but recently, I mean, I might draw the line at like flies or something, but recently there was a, I mean, I might draw the line at like flies or something, but recently there was a study that came out that suggested maybe.
Okay.
No, draw the line somewhere else and I'll give you a different answer.
Okay.
No, draw the line somewhere else and I'll give you a different answer.
Okay.
No, draw the line somewhere else and I'll give you a different answer.
Okay.
That's a tough one because, you know, where do you draw the line? What kinds of, that's a tough one because, you know, where do you draw the line? What kinds of, that's a tough one because, you know, where do you draw the line? What kinds of corporate activities are okay?
Where are you going to draw the line? Where are you going to draw the line? But it's based upon, where are you going to draw the line? But it's based upon the totality of circumstances. No.
I mean, where you draw the line is awfully difficult, and that's probably the point at which you and I mean, where you draw the line is awfully difficult, and that's probably the point at I mean, where you draw the line is awfully difficult, and that's probably the point at which you and I can't agree. But
well, where? In terms of percentages, where do you draw the line? Do you, if you, well, where? In terms of percentages, where do you draw the line? Do you, well, where? In terms of percentages, where do you draw the line? Do you?
That's one of the few things that I draw the line. It's like, oh, we can't be friends. That's one of the few things that I draw the line. It's like, oh, we can't be friends. That's one of the few things that I draw the line. It's like, oh, we can't be friends.
Years ago. Where do we draw the line when it comes to what is years ago? Where do we draw the line when it comes to years ago? Where do we draw the line when it comes to what is acceptable on a college campus? To get back to that, where do you draw the line when it comes to get back to that? Where do you draw the line when it comes to get back to that? Where do you draw the line when it comes to the
But this is a slippery slope, and these people can draw the line. But this is a slippery slope, and these people can draw the line. But this is a slippery slope, and these people can draw the line, making these mindless activities consume all of their time.
Kills children. I think that's where we have to draw the line. We say, no, that I can't. Kills children. I think that's where we have to draw the line. We say, kills children. I think that's where we have to draw the line. We say, no, that I can't believe.
Nature doesn't draw the line for us between male and female. Nature doesn't draw the line for us between male and female. Nature doesn't draw the line for us between male and female.
Draw the line between good and bad. Draw the line between good and bad. Draw the line between good and bad. Clean and dirty, acceptable and taboo.
Connected on that shared value, then draw the line between what we care about and climate change. Connected on that shared value, then draw the line between what we care about and climate change. Connected on that shared value, then draw the line between what we care about and climate change.
We draw the line 7 degrees over 10,000 years is 0.0. We draw the line 7 degrees over 10,000 years is 0.0. We draw the line 7 degrees over 10,000 years is 0.07 degrees centigrade per century.
On the fence, there's a line. Where are they going to draw the line? And on the fence, there's a line. Where are they going to draw the line? And on the fence. There's a line. Where are they going to draw the line? And where can we ever assume privacy? Now,
this is hang in there. Hang in there. This is a test.
Order of a warrant. So what I said last time I was on here with you was to hang in there, and order of a warrant. So what I said last time I was on here with you was to hang in there, and order of a warrant. So what I said last time I was on here with you was to hang in there, and
going to work. My mom, of course, being the optimist that she is, told me just to hang in there. Going to work. My mom, of course, being the optimist that she is, told me just to hang in there. Going to work. My mom, of course, being the optimist that she is, told me just to hang in there.
We're in sync, and that's why I knew he was going to hang in there. And he had we're in sync, and that's why I knew he was going to hang in there. And he had some we're in sync. And that's why I knew he was going to hang in there.
And if you can hang in there for 6 years, that's all it takes now. And if you can hang in there for 6 years, that's all it takes now. And if you can hang in there for 6 years, that's all it takes now.
Should a parent sort of be very encouraged and hang in there, even if should a parent sort of be very encouraged and hang in there, even should a parent sort of be very encouraged and hang in there, even if
you can hang in there, we may get to see it. If you can hang in there, we may get to see it. If you can hang in there, we may get to see the remarkable century ahead. Thank you.
It says, hang in there one day. Just a text, hang in there, thinking of you. It says, hang in there one day. Just a text, hang in there, thinking of you. It says, hang in there one day. Just a text, hang in there, thinking of you. That's, it says, hang in there one day. Just a
hang in there, Rose, you can do it. No. Hang in there, Rose, you can do it. Now we all, hang in there, Rose, you can do it. Now we all know what happened to Jack. But hang in there and we'll get you through it, okay? But hang in there and we'll get you through it, okay? But hang in there and we'll get you through it, okay?
But they certainly know how to hang in there for a really long time. But they certainly know how to hang in there for a really long time. But they certainly know how to hang in there for a really long time.
To get depressed, but you got to hang in there because that's the time of to get depressed. But you got to hang in there because that's to get depressed. But you got to hang in there because that's the time of your best chance of your lifetime.
And
butterflies in my stomach every single time it comes up in the story. So I get sick of it. I get butterflies in my stomach every single time it comes up in the story. So I get sick of it. I get butterflies in my stomach every single time it comes up in the story. So on the next
In my stomach. What can I do about those butterflies in my stomach? Right? In my stomach. What can I do about those butterflies in my stomach? Right? In my stomach. What can I do about those butterflies in my stomach? Right? Like all of being aware with that, and then knowing and
I got a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, but not as much because I got a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, but not as much because my parents assured me. I got a little bit of butterflies in my stomach, but not as much because my parents assured me.
Usually, right before I speak, I get butterflies in my stomach. Usually, right before I speak, I get butterflies in my stomach. Usually, right before I speak, I get butterflies in my stomach. Now,
here you can see that I have butterflies in my stomach for some reason. Here you can see that I have butterflies in my stomach for some reason. But there you can see that I have butterflies in my stomach for some reason. But this isn't what the phrase
I still get butterflies in my stomach, and I'm going, I wonder what I still get butterflies in my stomach, and I'm going, I wonder what it's going to be like.
There were butterflies in my stomach for days. There were butterflies in my stomach for days. As I continued, there were butterflies in my stomach for days. As I continued to watch horrors unfold on television.
There were 1,000 butterflies in my stomach. There were 1,000 butterflies in my stomach. There were 1,000 butterflies in my stomach.
Felt when they would kiss their boyfriends. I never felt butterflies in my stomach like that before. Felt when they would kiss their boyfriends. I never felt butterflies in my stomach like that before. Felt when they would kiss their boyfriends. I never felt butterflies in my stomach like that before. I was completely blown away.
I know that the butterflies in my stomach will fly away. I know that the butterflies in my stomach will fly away. I know that the butterflies in my stomach will fly away.
Last 3 years, and every single time I see this piece, I kind of get butterflies in my stomach. Last 3 years, and every single time I see this piece, I kind of get butterflies in my stomach. Last 3 years, and every single time I see this piece, I kind of get butterflies in my stomach.
I have butterflies in my stomach, I have to go to the bathroom, all of those things that I have butterflies in my stomach, I have to go to the bathroom, all of those things that indicate I have butterflies in my stomach, I have to go to the bathroom, all of those things that indicate a person is not relaxed.
So, and I do get butterflies in my stomach. And I do get butterflies in my stomach. And I do get butterflies in my stomach. I have actually even cried sometimes going,
really good today, like how I have butterflies in my stomach. Can you whisper, can you say free? Really good today, like how I have butterflies in my stomach. Can you whisper, can you say free? Really good today, like how I have butterflies in my stomach. Can you whisper, can you say freedom?
Life you deserve. As I speak to you right now, I am feeling butterflies in my stomach. Life you deserve. As I speak to you right now, I am feeling butterflies in my stomach. Why? Life you deserve. As I speak to you right now, I am feeling butterflies in my stomach.
Office, and with butterflies in my stomach, I made my pitch. Office, and with butterflies in my stomach, I made my pitch. Office, and with butterflies in my stomach, I made my pitch. To my huge surprise, the team was delighted.